5 total places. We're going to be told about 3 of them as far as what actually happens there, but you'll see it later when there's 5 of them mentioned that it went to. So we know that it goes down to Gath, and so they moved the ark of God down there. But after they had moved it, the Lord's hand was against that city, throwing it into a great panic. He afflicted the people of the city, both young and old, with an outbreak of tumors. Now this is a slightly different word, terminology used, and it's usually, if you look at it, there's probably a footnote in there. This one will talk more about tumors of the groin, and so it was a little bit more of a painful tumor on this one, and it's an outbreak of them. And so whatever it is, doesn't matter age, this is a terrible outbreak of painful tumors that have now afflicted them. And so they sent to the ark of God to Ekron. I don't know what these cities had against each other. If it's one of those, like, if we had a big problem, where are we going to choose to send it to? Kind of a thing. Find the city you most don't like. Send it there. I don't know. We'll have them deal with it. You have to think Ashdod must have had something against, Gath, and Gath probably didn't really care for Ekron as much. Like, give it to them. Let the people of Ekron deal with this stuff. So the Ark of the God is then moved down there. As the ark of God was entering Ekron, the people of Ekron cried out, "They've brought the ark of the God of Israel around to us to kill us and our people." And so you kind of see, it wasn't a welcome thing. I don't know what the Philistine army was thinking in stealing this, which was once their greatest fear. They get so excited in the battle that they win that they take something and then they start having all sorts of trouble. And so now town to town, they don't know what to do with this thing. They brought the ark of the God around to us to kill us and our people. So they called together all the rulers of the Philistines and said, "Send the ark of the God of Israel away. Let it go back to its own place, or it will kill us and our people. For death has filled the city, had filled the city with panic. God's hand was very heavy on it. Those who did not die were afflicted with tumors, and the outcry of the city went up to heaven." So now we add on trouble upon trouble. The first one, it's rats and tumors. The second one, it's an outbreak of even worse tumors. Now it's death and tumors. You look at what's going on here, a lot of painful consequences in these first 3 cities that we're told about. And again, we think it also goes to a couple of other locations, Gaza and I would have to look and see. It's one of those things what rule are they breaking? They don't even know. Yeah. So with that, what does this tell us about that is sin as well? And so if you know the good you should be doing, you're not doing it, we know that that's sin. And here I think we see this as well as, the story is and he tried out of they don't know the rules. They're not familiar with that. They know some of the stories, but they don't know the rules. So apply that a little bit beyond that for just a second. Don't over-apply it, but apply it a little bit beyond that. Is it possible that God treats those who don't know his word differently when they fall short versus us? Not in a way that he's more forgiving of them, but look at it maybe a little bit differently. Does he expect more out of us? Yeah. Think about what it talks about in Hebrews, and it talks about in us, like we've been brought nearer to God, which makes us have a greater distance to fall. Falling away from God after we've come into contact with him. I always think of it as those, I don't know why my mind goes this way, but it just works this way. Those little tubes on Super Mario Brothers? And those little ones, and some of them are really high up there. And I always think, the higher up you go, that's going to be a bigger fall off of one of those. And I think my mind goes to that because I've had to stand up on a platform every now and then. I have a little bit of a fear of heights. Not when